Hey everybody, this is Thomas and Tanner Gallant with Maritime Hockey. Today we're interviewing Manchester Storm forward Cameron Critchlow. Cam, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, boys, thanks for having me.
So, just starting off here, I guess where are you currently, and how's your off season going so far?
Yeah, I'm just in Fredericton, New Brunswick currently. Just got home a few weeks ago, and things are going pretty well. Just weather's starting to turn pretty well here in the Maritime, so just playing lots of golf and enjoying the off season right now.
So we'll recap your season a little bit. I mean, it was a unique year for you. It was a lot of ups and downs. You started out re-signed with Manchester of the EIHL. Then once the season was canceled, you joined Jacksonville, where you spent time before. Then once I think it was March, I think you went back to Manchester to join the Elite Series. Can you maybe take us through the process, and maybe at what point did Manchester call you back to play in the Elite Series?
Yeah, I mean, I was last year. I was on a 2-year contract with Manchester, so I was fully prepared to go back and looking forward to that. And then I think it was in maybe the beginning of August. We kind of had heard from the team saying, we don't really anticipate the season's going to go ahead as planned. You might want to start looking for other opportunities. So I know immediately I thought of Jacksonville because it was kind of a short notice thing and quick turnaround. I had kind of explored Europe a little bit to see what was out there, but it was really difficult just because a lot of NHL teams were loaning their players over to teams in Europe, and jobs are filling up quick. Budgets were a little different just due with COVID, and a lot of leagues just played without fans. So Jacksonville had reached out to me earlier in the year, so I just kind of called them back, and we came to an agreement. And then I was excited to go back there. It was a place I already played for 2 years and was very fond of, and a lot of good memories. So went back there and was there for, I think it was 4 months or so, and there was kind of murmurs that the EIHL was going to attempt to start up. I know they had made a few proposals to the UK government for some sort of way to start back up, maybe in a controlled environment or shortened season, whatever it may be. And I think there was a few failed attempts at that, and then they were finally to reach an agreement and get that off the ground. And I was speaking with Ryan Fenry, the head coach over in Manchester, and it was kind of an easy decision to go back. It was kind of tough leaving the same situation I was in Jacksonville, but it felt like the right decision at the time. And I thought that with the Elite Series and how it was going to be played and everything like that, I thought it was a pretty unique opportunity and probably something that I could look back on in my career and have very fond memories of.
So yeah, with this unique scenario, did you guys have much of a training camp in Manchester, or was it kind of just like jump on the ice and go kind of thing?
Well, yeah. So we got there, and if you were coming internationally, you had to do like a 10-day quarantine in your hotel. Mm-hmm. So we were really like in a bubble. All the teams were at a hotel, except for Sheffield. They were just staying in their own apartments back in Sheffield, and so we had 3 teams in the hotel. All the meals provided. Just it's a short walk to the rink, so you'd just be kind of going from the hotel to the rink, and not much other than that. Like when I had got there, the 10-day quarantine was required, but we were allowed to like practice and play. So it was kind of a unique scenario. So I got there, and I think we had about a week of practice, maybe less, maybe like 5 days. And when I got there, none of my bags showed up for like 4 days. So I was really behind the 8 ball, but luckily, I had been playing, and a lot of guys that had come in from there, they hadn't played all season. So I felt like I might have had like the upper hand or a little bit of an advantage. But once I got my gear, I think I had 2 practices and we played our first game. So it was kind of just jump in and go.
Well, it was great. I mean, you jumped right on the ice, like you said, and it looks like you didn't skip a beat because, I mean, you had a pile of points there. And what was it? I think it was, I don't know if it was 7 points or 10 points in like 12 games or something like that. It was quite a bit. I mean,
yeah, it was good. It was good. I think it was nice I think we have a pretty good core there in Manchester, and we're able to retain those guys back for the Elite Series, which helps a ton. Especially in those European leagues where there could be a lot of turnover each year. Just like in the ECHL or American League, you need a good core. Kind of helps your team go as far as you can help them go, and make the adjustment period as short as possible. So we were lucky to have a lot of guys returning from the previous year, and I think that helped a lot.
Yeah, and with this unique tournament with the Elite Series, you're only playing a handful of teams compared to the normal 10 teams.
Yeah.
So you must have built some kind of rivalry between the two teams. Like, I know everybody's kind of a tight knit group, but at the same time, you still build those rivalries when you're playing the same team over and over again.
Yeah, I think it was kind of amplified a bit too. Like, I mean, you're in the hotel and you're seeing these guys like every day, and you pretty much just get fucking sick of them, right? So every day, and whether it's at the hotel or whatever. I mean, it's kind of funny because you know how stuff can happen on the ice or whatever it may be, and then like say like there's a hit or something happens after the whistle or something carries on throughout the game, and then you're kind of like walking out of the rink and you meet each other at the door. You just kind of look at each other, and you're like these guys just you can't escape some of the guys, right? So and there was a lot of really good quality players, and I thought it was huge for Team Great Britain to have their guys skating before going to the World Championships. I think that was massive for them, and it was pretty neat, and they ended up doing well in the World Championship. So kudos to them, and I think that without the Elite Series happening, then they wouldn't have had the results that they did.
Exactly. I think like you mentioned, like I think with all this, like the EIHL coming into like the spotlight now, more people are noticing in the league. It's making a big difference. A lot more bigger names are coming over. A lot of former NHLers, AHLers, and stuff like that.
Yeah, one thing I will say about the league is, I mean, it might not quite have the reputation or notoriety as some of the leagues in Europe, such as like Denmark or Norway or the Del 2, but I mean, it's right there with those leagues, and you kind of see they go to the Champions League tournaments, like they're playing SHL teams, Liga, all these really good leagues, KHL, and they're doing very well, and the league is very deep. And I think that's just because, I mean, you see these guys come through, and a lot of guys that sign NHL deals and out of junior or college or wherever it may be, they go and play East Coast American League for 3 or 4 years, and then eventually work their way over to England. The quality is very high, and it's very deep, especially with the 14 imports. I mean, it's very North American style. It's a fun league to play in. Like, the schedule's good, they treat you well. It's a good experience, and the competition is good, and I think that each year is just going to keep getting better and better, and the British players keep getting better and better, and it helps a lot. And I think just the direction it's going, I think it was important that they didn't take the year off and able to keep building momentum.
Yeah,
I think the fan base. So what's the fan base like there? They look pretty dedicated from what I see.
Yeah,
online.
no, it's basically it's incredible, and it's it's a soccer atmosphere basically, and it's kind of a soccer mentality too.
Yeah.
So if you lose a few consecutive games, the fans are kind of they're on your case, and I won't say there's panic kind of creeping in, but you can't let those losing streaks kind of creep on, and it's they're very involved. There's a lot of drums and like horns, and they're just going nuts the entire game, and it's a lot of fun. And they're very, very passionate. If you ever watch, I don't know if you're watching the Euros or whatever's going on in soccer, they take it extremely seriously, and it's kind of a way of life. So it's definitely different in the way that you operate. Just being involved with the fans, it's kind of more of a, you kind of look as the organization as a family, and obviously the fans are a huge part of that.
Yeah, and I guess I know we touched on it a little bit, but is there much of a difference between the hockey between the EIHL and back here in North America? Because you have experience in both leagues, so I was just wondering, if you had to pick something that would be like the biggest difference, what would that be?
Yeah, I mean, there is a huge difference between North American and European styles, but I would say that the EIHL is more of a North American style, just due to the number of North Americans that are on each team.
Yeah, of course.
And in the European hockey, you're not really giving up the puck much. You'll be circling back 3 or 4 times looking for, options or breakouts or in the neutral zone or whatever it may be. But in England and in the EIHL, it's more of a, I guess you could be like a hybrid, if you will, like a little bit of both. But it is a tough league. Like it's a physical league. There's a lot of big men in that league, and probably I would say the most fights out of any league in Europe. So, I think it's kind of blended in and maybe a bit of a hybrid style. Whereas in North America, if you've been watching the playoffs, like it's, you're getting pucks in, getting pucks out, and you're kind of own the walls, and it's north south, not east west. So I'd say it's a little bit of both, a little bit of hybrid, but it definitely has, the toughness and blue collar style.
So back I think in 2019, you signed with Manchester. How did you kind of get into that? How did you get in contact with them, or how did they get in contact with you? How did that all come together?
Yeah, well, I'd been in the East Coast League for 2 years, and I was kind of hoping to get my master's done overseas, and I knew there's a lot of opportunities in England that they bring guys over on school deals. You're able to do your program and play hockey, and they're able to pay for it, and it's quite a lucrative deal. So I was very interested in that. I had spent did my degree here at UNB and played for them, so I kind of wanted to extend that a little bit more while I could, and I knew it was a great opportunity. So just kind of asked, I sent out some feelers and spoke to a few teams, and speaking with Ryan Finnerty, it just kind of seemed to stick. We were pretty like-minded and kind of wanted to achieve the same thing. So I think it was a good fit for me, and kind of haven't looked back since.
I think, you can't go wrong with schooling. I think Stephen Dixon, finished his degree over there too. I think I've seen that.
Dix finished his degree last season. Yeah, so now 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, it's hard to keep straight what season it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, the way that I always, the lineage, I always, everything's referred by hockey season for me, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And kind of the season didn't even happen, and it didn't happen for a lot of guys, but I don't even know. It's just kind of an asterisk beside it. So, but yeah, I know Dick's finished his in Cardiff. They have a great organization there. He's a big part of their team, and I know he's going back next year. So I'll be looking forward to facing him in the face-off dot again.
There you go. So, Critch, you have a lot of experience in deep playoff runs. You have experience in the Q. You have a few championships with UNB. So, how much did that prepare you for make that jump to the pro hockey?
Yeah, I mean, it made a huge impact for sure. I think I was lucky enough in junior to be on 2 really good runs, one with Lewiston, one with Halifax. Both made it to the semifinal. And you kind of, if you're watching the playoffs now, you kind of see with Montreal or whatever it may be, when you find a groove at the right time, I mean, it makes all the difference. And I think it's not really something you can control. It's something you prepare for all season. You do the right things, you work hard, and it's all kind of leading up to it. It's all preparation for the playoffs, right? If you're gonna, Dom Ducharme was my coach in Halifax, and he kind of put it pretty simplistic way. He said, you treat the game like a test, and if you study for the test, you don't have any worries going into the test. You're not worried about not failing. You're going to do well. So if you do the right preparation ahead of time, then you shouldn't be worried going into the game. And it was really fun. And the UNB, obviously, they've historic program. That's all they do is win, and Gardner gets those guys going the right way. But that's the thing, is when you're there, you learn to play the right way and do the right things. And a lot of little things can contribute to one big thing. And you play the right way, you do the right things on and off the ice, and it's kind of that's the mentality in that locker room, and it's the expectation is to win a national championship, and anything less is a disappointment. So it's the mindset, it's the culture there, and I think that's it resonates for the kind of player and kind of guy that I am. So it was a good fit, and I think that any time that you're at UNB, that they pump out professionals like you wouldn't believe. Like, there's guys are going on to have incredible pro careers, so it's impressive, and I think you can give a lot of credit to just the program and how those guys prepare there.
I think there's a pile this year coming out, like playing AHL, ECHL. I mean, it's just crazy.
Fill my played with Washington a few games this year.
Mhm. Yep.
Just signed the KHL. Jordan Murray was over in the SHL, KHL this year, and a long-time American League guy. They have 4 or 5 other American League guys doing well. Cam Brace in the SHL, so the list goes on and on.
Yeah.
And there's good reason for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you have like there's been a lot of players from UNB that you've played with and stuff. Like when you're training in the summer and stuff, do you train with a lot of those guys, or do you kind of just train by yourself, or what do you normally do there?
Typically, we have a pretty good group of guys that train all together here in Fredericton. I know now there's the UNB players. There's a lot of pro guys around, Spencer Spallman, Clark Bishop, a lot of other European players. So it's a good group. It's a good group of guys, and we have a good group of skates too. And like there's tons of guys that kind of make their Fredericton their home for the summer and go off and play pro in the winter. So it's nice to have that around for sure, and kind of push each other and find a way to get yourself better.
Yeah,
no, you go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, yeah, we've seen UNB, especially over the last couple of years, make a big impact on pro hockey. Like it's unbelievable. The players, like you said, Murray, and we had Oliver Cooper, Matt Murphy, like all these guys that are making
Simpson.
that jump. And Simpson's another one that they made an incredible rookie season this year, and it's incredible to see that in Fredericton that they're doing such a good job there.
I mean, yeah, and again, like it's just they recruit some really, really high end talent, and they're able to get guys to go there that they're debating signing a one-way American League deal or going to UNB, and that's a pretty high pedigree to have in your locker room. But there's seems to be 20 of them in the locker room each year, so it keeps getting better and better. And I mean, you see the results. Got 5 guys or 4 guys from UNB in the EIHL finals right now with Fort Wayne, and you got Coop, Murph, Bowdens, Gazzola, McIver, and then there's also Stephen Harper who played at Acadia. So I mean, pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive, and I think that I've always told my coach in the EIHL, I always said, if you have an opportunity to sign a guy from the AUS, I was like, don't hesitate, just do it, because like you're not gonna be disappointed whether they're from UPEI or St. FX, Acadia, whatever it may be. You're gonna get a quality player who knows how to play kind of a pro game.
Yeah, Fort Wayne was snagging up all the UNB guys there for a while.
Yeah, they were. Fort Wayne's a great organization. I know Bowden's had been there for a few years now, and he really enjoys it. But I think if you ask anyone who's played in that league, that Fort Wayne's probably on the higher echelon of organizations in the league.
I think you're seeing more now. Like people don't mind going the university route now, as maybe before it was always everyone wanted to go to the Q. It was always junior hockey, but you can go either way. There's more than one way to get to pro hockey now. Yeah,
and I mean once you are playing for a while and you see a ton of NCAA Division I guys come through, and there's some really, really good players. The list never ends with good players and a lot of high talent. And I think this year, I think we've had probably 65% or 70% American college guys on our team in the East Coast League, and they're high quality players. A lot of them NHL drafted, or spend a lot of time in NHL locker rooms, whether it's in training camps or whatever it may be. But the talent keeps getting better and better, and I think compared to my first year in the coast to this year, it was pretty good hockey, and there was a lot of really good players in the league.
Yeah. So what's your plans for the rest of the summer?
Oh, not much. Going to be just probably getting ready for the season, trying to play as much golf as I can, and just kind of enjoying the downtime. It was a pretty hectic year for me. It was traveling all over the place, and with COVID, all the restrictions, it was a pretty stressful year. But I was, I'm very thankful that I was able to do what I was able to do, and I just kind of come home and decompress and get ready for next season, and then see what lays ahead of you. So hopefully, hopefully it'll be a quiet summer, and then that way we can just transition into the season and hopefully put all this pandemic behind us.
So I think that's all the questions I have, unless Thomas, you have any other questions to ask?
No, I'm good. We just like, thanks again for coming on and speaking with us. We've really enjoyed watching your career. I mean, and we notice the EIHL more now that we have quite a few Maritime guys over there now. So it's nice to see.
Well, thank you for having me on, and thank you for everything you guys do. You know, between the Twitter and Instagram, what you guys do it's impressive, man. And you know, I know for myself, being a Maritime guy and trying to keep tabs on everyone, it's kind of difficult. So when you guys are doing the work that you do, I certainly appreciate it.
Yeah. No, thanks.
Yeah, my pleasure.